Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be my June wrap-up. So in June, I read 7 books. I'm really happy, especially because in May I read like 3 books, which is not great. But now I feel like I'm finally back at it and I'm really excited to read books. Yeah, I just have like this excitement to just read again more, and that is really fun. I'm really happy. So I wanted to do something different for my wrap-up this month. I feel it's kind of boring going through like what book I finished first and then second and then third, you know, chronologically. Is that how it's called? It's the same word in French, so it's hard. But yeah, chronologically. God. Anyway, I didn't want to do that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one book and I'm just gonna talk about it and find something that is in common with the next book I want to talk about. I don't know if that makes sense, but you're gonna get it, okay? You're gonna get it. So the first book that I wanted to talk about for my June wrap-up is Lion by Saru Beerley. So this is a nonfiction about a man, a 30-year-old man who wants to find his family. So when he was 5 years old, he got lost at a train station in India, and then eventually going through multiple things, he ended up in an orphanage and was adopted by an Australian couple. And at 30 years old, he decides to leave Australia and to go find his family. And this book was really beautiful. It was really hard to read at some part, and it's crazy how the treatment of children are so different from country to country. It's kind of crazy. But I really enjoyed my reading of this, and I don't rate my nonfiction, so I'm not gonna rate this book, but I really enjoyed it. Well, I have yet to watch the movie. I need to find it somewhere in Canada where I can watch it. And to go to my like second book I want to talk about. So this book is mainly set in India. So going from this to this, so this is Arusha and the Nectar of Immortality. So the link that we have between those two books is that this one is set mainly in India and this one involves Hindu mythology. There's kind of a connection here, kind of. Anyway, maybe it's a stretch, but yeah, I'm gonna go for it. So this is the 5th and final book in the Pandava series by Roshni Chokshi. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great finale book for a series. It was really well done. I absolutely enjoyed myself reading that book. And of course, I'm giving a 5 out of 5 stars. This was like amazing. I love these characters so much. I love them. I'm gonna miss them, like, definitely. This is a great series. This is a series that I would recommend my students at work. If you don't know, I'm an elementary school teacher and I teach in 5th grade, so you know, 10, 11 years old, and this will be perfect for them. Like, it's so good. I don't know what to say else, but I really loved it. It's funny. It made me scared at some point. I was sad. I was happy. It was just perfect. I loved it. Going from this to this, because both of them are amazing, great finale. So that's the connection here. So this is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Again, an amazing end to an amazing series. I loved that book so much. Normally, like with these two, Mistborn I think took me like a whole month to read. Maybe even a little bit more than the month to read. The Well of Ascension took me like 2 months to read. This one took me 3 weeks to read. Like, I absolutely loved it. It was absolutely amazing. Oh my god, the twists, the turns, I cried. Oh my god, this book was just phenomenal. And I can't believe I'm done with this trilogy. I know there's other books in the series, technically, like there's like a quartet, but it's set like thousands years after the event of that one. And I'm really sad because I love those characters so much. They're so amazing, and I was so scared for them throughout the book. But Brandon Sanderson knows how to write fantasy books and battles and just magic. The magic in this. I thought I had everything figured out about the magic, but no, I didn't. Okay, this was so well crafted. So many questions were answered, and I love it. I loved it. 5 out of 5 star, of course. Like, it's my favorite in this series. It's so good. So good. Going from this to this, what is the connection? You would ask yourself. Well, in the Row of Ages, there's kind of like this situation where the world is ending and it's gonna collapse, and there's environmental issues and political issues and economic issues, and same things happen in Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Basically, in 2020, in the early 2020s, Earth is in crisis, okay? The planet is not doing great. The climate is shit. The economics is shit. The politics are shit. Everything is shit, okay? But this book, we're following like Lauren, who's a young girl in her teens. She lives in this community with her family, and she is starting a new religion, if you want. So she's talking about the base of this new religion, and she's talking about the book that she is writing at the moment for that religion. And at the same time, the world is kind of collapsing and everything goes to shit. And it's about her surviving. I really enjoyed that book. I really did. I really enjoyed that book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. I quite enjoyed it. I thought the pace was weird, so that's why it's a 4 out of 5 star. Sorry, my kitten is playing with this toy right beside me. But yeah. So, but because of that, I have to give it a 4 out of 5 star. The main character is not likable, but I don't mind not liking the main character. Like, I don't mind. I don't mind. And yeah, I quite enjoyed this. I'm really happy I read it, and yeah. Let's go to this, Difficult Woman by Roxane Gay. So in this one, you know, we're following a woman, well, a young woman character, and she is misunderstood, and she is irrational, and she is unapologetic. And this is a short story collection about women that are just like that. Unapologetic, not really reliable, not likable, irrational at some point, but they are like so real. And I really enjoyed that short story collection. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. There were some stories that I absolutely loved and had me, and it shook me like so much, and other stories were too weird for me or not as impactful as other stories were. So yeah, that's why it's a 4 star. But I love Roxane Gay's writing style. I really love her way of telling a story. I just really love how she writes her character also. Like, they're flawed, like real people are. Like, they're not perfect, and I really love that. So yeah, I'm really excited to read more from Roxane Gay. Going from this to this, the sequel to Parable of the Sword, so Parable of the Talents by Octavia E. Butler. Like, I could have gone to this, you know, or this to this, yeah. Well, but we're following like Lauren as an older woman and also other characters that are women. I don't want to spoil anything because this is obviously the sequel to the first one, but Lauren in this one is much older and she is still irrational. She is still unapologetic. She's like, that's who I am. If you don't want it, bye. Just go away. I don't care. Like, leave me alone. But if you can't accept this, like, you're welcome. And I really, really enjoyed that one way more than the first one. I really loved it. Maybe it's because of the time jump. This one, you know, we're following like a 15-year-old girl, and even though it's an adult book, we're still in the head of a 15-year-old girl. I'm 28. I'm not there anymore, you know? In this one, we're following Lauren as an adult. I felt more connected to her, and also this one is more post-apocalyptic. This one is more like during the apocalypse, and this one is more post. So I prefer post-apocalyptic and to follow people surviving and trying to find a resemblance of a normal life after traumatic events. And yeah, this was a 5 out of 5 star. I really, really loved it. I can't wait to read more Octavia E. Butler. I really love her writing, and I think I'm gonna love her other works. Like, yeah, I'm just so excited. So, going from this to this, Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. So, in this one, like I said, it's more like post-apocalyptic, and this one is post-apocalyptic. This book is weird. This book is so good. I obviously gave it a 5 out of 5 star. Like, this is my favorite book of the year so far. This was so good. I loved it. It's really short, but oh my god, I enjoyed that book so much, and I fell in love with the characters. Like, Emily St. John Mandel has a way to write characters that are so compelling and so raw and flawed and likable, even though they're not. And oh god, I really, really love that book. In this one, we're following like mainly 3 characters in 3 different timelines in the past. So in the beginning of the 1900s, then we're following another person in the 2010s, and then we're following another character like in the 2200 and 2400, like in the future, you know. So kind of like the past, the present, and the future. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it, but this book has me shocked. This book had me in disbelief. This book was amazing. The writing is so beautiful. I love that book. I'm really, really excited to reread it. I I love that book so much. This was just what I wanted in a sci-fi dystopian post-apocalyptic book. This is what I wanted. That's it. I loved it so much. So this is it, guys. This is my June wrap up. I hope you enjoy this new thing that I'm doing with my wrap ups. Maybe I will do something else, something different in the next month. But yeah, I thought that these books had some things in common, and I wanted to acknowledge that. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in a next video. Bye.